Hello and welcome back. We are talking this week about 3 tips for countertop seating. Now, with the holidays coming in for me, yes, I wish I lived at the Biltmore where I could have a formal table seating of 50 in a main dining hall. I don't have that. I have a dining room table that extends out to maybe 10 if I'm pushing it, but I do have 4 seats at a countertop that I love to utilize during the holidays and frankly any party that we have. And so I wanted to talk about that as far as if you are designing your countertop or your kitchen right now. The trend right now is to have an island, and you can seat, depending on how nice or big your island is, you could do 4, 6, 8, 10 at your actual island, and then you can serve on that and use it as the place where you put food. I mean, that's just an island is an awesome thing to have. But when you don't have an island and you are designing your countertop, what can you do to utilize your countertop as additional seating? And this is true also if you have a small apartment or a small home. So what I wanted to talk about was we designed our concrete countertop and we did an overhang on one side. Now, hindsight 2020, having lived in the house for a year, I probably would have sacrificed the cabinets on one of the sections of our countertop in order to utilize being able to seat across from each other. So do an overhang on both sides, and I'll show you a picture of that. This way, instead of doing cabinets, you can actually push the chairs in, and you could either build a wall, you could build a very shallow bookshelf to put your recipes on, or recipe books on, or fun books that somebody can grab while they're waiting for dinner to be served. Or you could even do a mini wine rack, or maybe like a see-through wine rack, spice rack. I don't know. You could, you could dream something up. But that way, both the chairs could push in from either side. We use our countertops every day for breakfast, and I can't pull a chair up because the cabinet's there. So that's one tip that I wanted to, while you're designing your kitchen and while you're designing your countertops, think about how you want to be able to utilize your countertop additionally or just functionally throughout the day. The second thing is the type of chair that you choose with your countertop will dictate kind of my third tip is maximizing the flow. If you have chairs that are going to stick out from the countertop, and when you push it into the overhang, they're still kind of behind you, so they're kind of blocking the flow. If that's an issue for you because of space or just, sight line for me, I'm a theater teacher, so to me, I'm like, what am I looking at focal point when I come into a room? You could utilize bar stools as opposed to ones with backs, but you will have to keep in mind your overhang, how far it is for you to be able to push it under, and how much chair you can get rid of as far as seeing. Bar stool might be able to tuck under there. You won't ever see it, not going to trip over it. Those are awesome. And in next week's vlog that we're doing, we're going to actually talk about types of chairs. I had no idea you had so many choices, and I have a lot of tips that I'm going to share with you next week. So if you are even remotely going to buy a countertop seating, come back next week. You're going to love it. The third thing, and again, I touched on it just a little bit, was designing for maximum flow of your seating. If your countertop is coming out, extending beyond your kitchen area, you want to, so for us, for concrete countertops and butcher block, those are the 2 that I think you can DIY. You really want to think that out as far as how much space you have to maneuver around. And you don't want a chair sticking out so that you can't get to your stove, or if you have your dishwasher down, you can't get past the person who's doing the dishes because you know that the cook never does the dishes. Mark, just hear me out on that one. So I wanted to give you those 3 tips to think about, and then we also have a worksheet that you can download. If you just randomly thought, well, I'm doing countertop seating, download our PDF and think through it, because I can't tell you how many people I've, once you live in a situation, you're like, if I were to do it again. Well, if you're renovating, you are doing it again. And I want you, and this can apply to if you're doing granite or quartz or marble or any of those other countertops as well. You absolutely can talk through them and see, but you're going to pay more for the space that you're doing. And that's fine. Just know what you're getting into. So again, our 3 tips that you're doing, that we talked over today, and then you can read about it again below, is your overhang on either side, both sides, sacrificing cabinet space. The second thing is the type of countertop chair that you're going to use. Does it have a back? Can you push it under? How long is your overhang that you can push it under? And the third thing is knowing those things, what kind of design or flow do you want your kitchen to have? And can you hide that chair, or can you get past that chair? And specifically think about if somebody's sitting in the chair, can you still get past them? Think about all these things as you're designing your countertop seating, and we cannot wait to see the pictures that you send us about how you used your countertop with your holidays. I want to hear that, so let me know that, and we'll talk to you soon.